Hi everybody, I'm Scott Bino, Vice President of Marketing for North America here at Crawford & Company. And today on Crawford Chat, we have two guests today, not one, but two guests. We have Andy Hutchinson, who is the CRO, and Sam Krishnamurthy, who is the CTO from Turvi. Welcome to Crawford Chat, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
First question right off the bat. What is Turvi, for everybody that doesn't know? And what gap in the market does Turvi fill?
Yeah, so essentially Turvi is Crawford's very own insurtech startup. We started off as Crawford Digital Solutions, and we've essentially just expanded to have an outside market-facing brand that will cater a little better to the software market specifically. So it'll creep outside of what is traditionally known as Crawford in the broader market. I think what we're trying to fill as in the market is building those efficient models and processes that come with some of the state-of-the-art softwares that are out there, but utilizing the Crawford expertise that we have such great access to.
And so you guys both have sort of diverse backgrounds. Let's talk about that for a second. How do your backgrounds sort of contribute to Turvi's success in the future and also its mission to transform the customer experience? So talk a bit about where you came from and what brought you to this point.
Well, I've been in the industry for 22 plus years, mainly an engineer, started in IT, and 15 years specific in the insurance domain. My passion is in innovation and product development over the last several years, mainly in the investment banking business, insurance markets. So that really gives me a passion, number one, to drive product innovation, which can differentiate in the marketplace, mainly to deliver measurable outcomes, to drive better value for our insurers and brokers and customers. And secondly, we want to leverage AI to streamline workflows and processes, most importantly, to give an intuitive, data-driven solutions for our customers to elevate CX. And last but not least, we also want to anticipate customer needs and deliver an adaptable solution.
When I first started with Crawford, I was actually in our global strategy, mergers and acquisitions part of the company, which gave me a front row seat to a lot of different insurtechs, whether that was something that Crawford was interested in either partnering with or buying. I got to see a lot of different companies, how they worked, what did work, what didn't work. And then moving on to transformational roles within multiple different segments of Crawford. Working on how do we implement those types of products and how do we implement those types of partnerships within Crawford. It gave us a lot of great insight into what we're now doing, trying to implement our own software, build our own company, and implement those into our clients.
Excellent. So thinking about a little bit of where you guys have come from and where we are today and where we're going, what trends are shaping the insurance industry, and what led you to focus on claims challenges, and maybe how has that maybe evolved over time?
So just to give you a better perspective, we're seeing a lot of advent of generative AI. If you look at the market share out there globally, as of 2022, the market share was around 700 million, and it's targeted to extrapolate and grow to almost in the billions in 2032. So with that said, I think there are two main functionalities we're seeing evolving from a tech trend perspective. The first is developing bespoke domain-based large language models to solve a specific use case in insurance. It could be underwriting, it could be claims adjudication, those kinds of processes. And second is orchestration of AI agents in streamlining workflows, especially in the call center space. Let me give you a bit of context on what an AI agent is. An AI agent is basically an AI model behind the scenes which can perceive the context of the domain. It could reason a particular task, and most importantly, act and action that particular task. So basically automating end-to-end workflows, giving like a powerful toolkit in the hands of a human.
Think about humans, let's go off of there, right? So I think we can all agree, kind of in any industry, there's rising expectations, right, from the consumer. How do you balance, on one end, operational efficiency, which is I think a lot of the promise of AI, with the customer experience and ensuring that we're not only meeting those expectations, but actually thinking about how do we exceed them in the future?
Yeah, I think that's a vital part of what we do, particularly because we sit in a very unique space in the insurance industry, both at Crawford and Turvi, where we have clients and then we interact or affect what's happening to their client. It's absolutely a balancing act where we have to build products that are efficient, they do create great process, but at the same time, we always have to think about the impact of the policyholder at the end. If we are to build something where we create a great process and it's really efficient and it really changes the life cycle of a claim, as an example, but it creates a horrible experience for the policyholder, it would never work. So we have to build things that both work for our client, but at the same time create a great customer experience. I almost think it's lopsided, not really a balance, because it needs to be lopsided on the customer experience side rather than even the efficiency side.
Right, so the customer leading the way, efficiency kind of sort of following as a second. Right?
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the insurance industry and the speed to innovate. Why is, in your opinion, the industry embracing transformation now? And where does automation play in all of that?
Yeah, I think there are three specific reasons we're seeing this dramatical shift, why there is a lot of drive towards automation. So the number one being customer expectations are rising like never before, right? You've got different generations of customers you're dealing with. You've got the Gen X, the Gennies, the Millennials, and the Baby Boomers. So the way how customers reach out to us, that experience matters the most. Secondly, I feel there's a lot of competitive pressure as well on who wants to differentiate products out there to compete in the market. And last but not least, almost everybody's basic expectation is to scale efficiently on a global scale. So for this, from an automation standpoint, I think there are three things which are very important. Leveraging technologies to streamline workflows, number one. And number two is you've got to redesign processes. To Andy's point, it's not only focused on making sure that our internal people are liking it, but most importantly with a customer first mindset. And last but not least, empowering our workforce with those digital tools, change management and training, which is going to be key to success.
And so last question for you both. What would you say, how would you sort of articulate the biggest claims challenges that we're seeing right now in our industry, and where do you see the greatest opportunities?
Yeah, I'll jump in first. I'll let maybe Sam talk about some of the opportunities, but just in general, I don't know if it's only claims, but the insurance industry as a whole, over the last several years we've gone through a historically hard market coming out of the pandemic, a very high inflationary period. Catastrophes are becoming more intense, more expensive, more prevalent. It's putting a huge strain on the insurance industry as a whole. And I think where that leaves us opportunity, particularly in the software space where we're working to find more efficiency, more cost savings. It's paramount to the insurance business, finding these ways to move forward and keep insurance balanced, so the risk profiles are where they need to be, but at the same time, making sure the policyholders are taken care of in a way where customers can retain them. So it's an ongoing problem, but I think that's where we have the biggest opportunity to make a change.
Excellent. And Sam, what are your thoughts?
Just to add on a little bit, I think with all the devastation we have seen in California, with all the wildfires, I think the situation has become more intense, more frequent, and more severe like never before. I think with this, we've got a variety of challenges. Just to give some context, there are market regulation challenges as insurers are moving out from that area and homeowners are severely impacted because they are paying losses in billions, outpacing the premiums they collect, number one. Number two, you still have the state insured, like the Fair Plane Act within the California region. But even they are struggling with a lot of financial constraints, right, and coverage limitations. Now that leaves so many homeowners at loss. And last but not least, companies who have all these cat risk AI models, they are not able to use futuristic data and climate change data to to profile which regions are impacted and also rise their premiums, because the California Proposition 101 requires a pre-approval to get anything done. So with this, technology plays a very key role, right? So I think we can give opportunities to these large insurers to implement these CAT models with modern regulations into play, where they can analyze all these climate data and adjust the premiums, if you will, to price based on what the future risks are. And last but not least, we need to educate the consumer as well, right? Where they are lacking coverage. And I think that's where AI plays a very tremendous role in educating the policyholder. And not only that, they also need to understand why are the premiums rising because of the rising risks. And last but not least, there is a lot of predict and prevent mitigation options available in AI and IoT devices, which homeowners can incentivize if they can mitigate all these devices so that they can predict and prevent losses.
Excellent. Listen, I want to thank you both for your time to sit down and chat with me. Clearly, there's a lot going on in our industry. There's a lot of innovation. It's exciting to see, Turvi stepping into the space, and I'm looking forward to seeing, where does this go in the future. So I really appreciate both of you for coming in. Thank you, everybody, for watching this episode of Crawford Chat, and be sure to stay tuned for the next episode. That was the best clap? Oh my goodness, wow, this is going to go very well now. At no point should you ever look directly into that camera.
Now I really want to look at it.
Look at the camera now. If you could be famous for anything, what would it be?
Unicorn startup?
Like a startup of unicorns? Or you mean like
I didn't think about that. You could make a lot of money off of a unicorn farm.
If you could instantly become an expert at anything, what would it be? You've lost your chance. It was supposed to be instantly. The instant is gone. What's your secret talent that nobody knows about?
Singing.
Singing? Can you give us something? Can you sing us something, Sam? Am I putting you on the spot to sing us?
Oh, unfortunately, I have a bad cold.
Oh, he has a bad cold. Oh, yeah, me too. I'm a really good singer also, but I won't do that because I can't. Do you have a secret talent that nobody knows about?
I don't think so.
You want to keep it a secret,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. We can cut that too if it's something if there's something salacious in your past that you don't want to bring up. We can.
Well, there was that one time. Just kidding.
We will leave it at that. We're just gonna keep Ariel in the background walking around. How are we looking? We're good. Oh, the cup. Just turn it ever so slightly.
We can just get rid of it.
Yeah. That's what we're going for.
Yeah.
We want to make Crawford Chat cute. These are all good ideas. We'll implement them next time.